in this video, we will discuss about parts of a flower. Angiosperms are plants which bear flowers. They are the most predominant vegetation on earth. They are also highly evolved. Now, there are angiospermic plants which are divided into many families. There are different families and they bear flowers. Now, we can see some of the pictures of the flower. Now, this is zinnia flower and this is vinca, this is portulaca. Then we have rose, hibiscus, daisies, pansies. So there are many angiospermic flower and this is the flower of asparagus. Now, floral parts of a flower, they are born in a whorl structure. Now we can see this is the outermost whorl of the flower. Singular is sepal, plural is sepals, and collectively all the sepals they are called as calyx. Then inner to sepal is present whorl of petal. Petal is singular, petals is plural, and collectively this is called as corolla. So here in this flower we can see at this part will be present sepal. They are not visible in this picture. Otherwise at this part they are present. Now this part is made up of petals. So this is the second inner whorl which is made up of petal, also called as corolla, and this part which is made up of stamens. Now this is in this whorl, this is made up of stamens, also called as Angiosperm, and this is the innermost whorl which is made up of ovary, also called as Gynoecium. So we can see here, if I enlarge the flower, we can see this part is ovary and this is the style and this part is stigma. So this is ovary, style, and this is stigma. So this is also called as gynoecium. Now if we cut vertical section of the flower, vertical section is when we with the help of blade or razor we halve the floral organ or floral flower of a struck plant, then this is called as vertical section of the flower. We can see here, this is the vertical section of the flower. So this is the stalk on which flower is born. This is called as pedicel, and this is the broadened part. This is called as thalamus, and this is the outermost whorl of the flower called as sepal or calyx. And sepals are mostly green in color. Because they are green in color, so they can do photosynthesis and they will provide nutrition to the flower. Then this second whorl of the flower is made up of petals. So these are petals which may be colored. It can be white in color. So its main purpose of the petal is to attract the insects for pollination, as well as this protects the internal floral organs. Now this is the male part of the flower. This is called as, this part is filament and this part is anther. So this is also called as stamen. Now this part, this is ovary, this is style, and this is stigma. Now this part, ovary, it has ovule-like structures, ovules. Ovules, they are born on a cushion-like structure called as placenta. And this part is style and this is the stigma. So this is the stigma is the part which will receive the pollen grains, and pollen grains are liberated from the anthers, and they can fall on the same stigma or they can fall on the stigma of another flower. If they fall on the same, this is called as self-pollination. This liberation of pollen grain and falling on the stigma, this is called as pollination. If they are falling on the same stigma, this is self-pollination. But if they are falling on another flower, this is called as cross-pollination. So this pollen grain is the male part of the flower, which is being produced from this anther part. This will days open to liberate the pollen grains, and these pollen grains, they will fall on the stigma. So this part is sterile part, filament, and this part is anther, which produces the pollen grain. Singular, this is called as stamen, and collectively it is called as androecium, and this is the male part of the flower. And female part is made up of ovary, as we discussed, ovary, style, and stigma. Inside are present ovule. So when pollen grains they fall over here, they will germinate and they will form a pollen tube. This will carry the male gamete toward the ovule. Fertilization will take place. What is fertilization? Fusion of male and female gamete. This is called as fertilization. Later on, this ovule, it ripens to form seeds. So we can see here in this flower, both the sex organs they are born, male as well as female. Male part is Androecium and female part is Gynoecium. So when both the sexes they are present in the same flower, the flower is called as, this is also called as bisexual. So when single sex is present, this will be called as unisexual, means single sex is there. So we can see here in this flower, we can see this part is this part is corolla, petals. Now here this part is the filament and this part is called as anther. Now this will produce the pollen grains. They can fall on this stigma, leading to the fertilization process. So this is all about floral parts. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe.